Hey everyone, today I'm back with another unscripted Grand Moff Togen talking about Helldivers 2 video. I am working on more videos that are actually, well structured and scripted, so stay tuned for those, but this is something that I want to capture my thoughts on raw and talk to you guys about. Arrowhead has been rightfully facing a lot of criticism from myself and basically everyone else in the Helldivers community, especially content creators. So Arrowhead came out and created a response that they posted on Reddit and in the Steam News forum. To our dedicated citizens of Super Earth, we have been following your feedback over the past few days and seeing the conversations across the Helldivers 2 community. Helldivers 2 matters to all of us, and we want to be clearer about what we're working on and what is coming next. Alongside new content, we are focused on improving the core of the game, stability, progression, and the galactic war. Below, we have pulled together answers to some of the questions that we're seeing across Reddit, Discord, and X. Fucking X. It's Twitter. We'll keep sharing more as we go. Right now, a major focus for the team is improving meta progression and the galactic war. We have significantly expanded the team working in this area, reflecting how important these long-term systems are for the overall player experience. The goal is to deliver deeper progression and a more engaging galactic war, with features like more meaningful rewards and community progression systems, evolving major orders into longer, multi-week themed quote-unquote campaigns, and branching outcomes that create clearer stakes and consequences based on player actions. You will start to see the first results of this work in the summer. My initial thought when I read this is, okay, progression systems, they're working on those. That is great news to hear. But they go on to say community progression systems, not personal account-based progression, which is the thing that I want more than anything else right now. So, a good sentiment, but, words are cheap. They could say anything at this point. What matters is action. That is really what we need to see. We need to see this stuff acted upon and really put into reality. In multiple updates, there have been hidden changes to weapons or enemies. Why were they not announced in the patch notes? And they go on to say, we want our patch notes to be as clear and complete as possible to the level of detail that matters to our players. In some cases, changes have not been communicated with the clarity we intend, and we are continuing to improve our internal process so patch notes more accurately reflect gameplay adjustments. We are also working on how we explain balance updates more clearly, especially when a change can have effects across multiple weapons, enemies, and gameplay systems. When it comes to the patch notes, leaving a few things out of the patch notes isn't the end of the world in my opinion, but I think it demonstrates, frankly, a certain level of incompetence. I don't think they're maliciously leaving things out of the patch notes. They know we're gonna find everything out anyway. I think that they just actually forget to put certain things in the patch notes, or certain members of the team aren't communicating with each other on what's being put out in the patch notes properly. I think it's a problem with Arrowhead. I don't think they're doing it to fuck with us. Will we get more frequent updates about the game? Yes, improving how regularly and clearly we communicate is a priority for us. We are moving toward more consistent communication updates with deeper conversations happening more often. In the near term, the conversations will be focusing on the biggest issues we're seeing from players, including tech and performance improvements, their vision for the game balance going forward, player progression, and the broader player experience within the galactic war. Alongside this, we'll be more transparent about community feedback, including what we're seeing, what we're prioritizing, and what actions we're taking. You will start to see this reflected more clearly in patch notes and other updates. Alright, to be honest, I'm not putting any stock in their words regarding this. They have said a number of times that they're gonna keep doing updates, like the tech blogs. Where did they go? They just disappeared. They've been saying this for pretty much 2 years now that they want to communicate more. The patch notes videos are nice. Those are good examples of communication, but those are rare. I would be surprised if Arrowhead follows through on what they're saying with this. Then again, communication really isn't a make or break thing for the game. The make or break things for the game are the game itself, especially because they're not, I don't think they're gonna follow through on this. But you know what, we'll wait and see. More communication can't hurt, so I'm always open to that. What quality of life upgrades and changes will we see for the Galactic War? Maybe variation in reward types, like when we used to get stratagems as rewards. Will we do more community-driven events with rewards like that? And they go on to say, good news, updates to the Galactic War and its rewards are coming this summer. We've seen the feedback around rewards, and we want them to feel more distinctive, more meaningful, and more worthy of the battles you're fighting. This includes adding greater variety to rewards and bringing back more of the excitement players have called out, including things like stratagem unlocks and more community-driven moments. We also want the Galactic War itself to feel more reactive to player actions, with events and outcomes that carry more weight. We will be sharing more details soon on how this connects to progression, balance, and the overall experience. Again, these are really good things to say. I hope that they follow through on this. I think we all need to be diligent and hold Arrowhead to their word, especially on this one. This is something that we can't let slip through our fingers, you know? This can't be something that we brush off when it doesn't come around. Because this is where so much of the excitement of Helldivers comes from, and where it came from to begin with when the game launched. All of the stratagem unlocks, all the fun ways the Galactic War was being used, like with Malevelon Creek, and our insistence on not taking the anti-tank mines, all these fun little moments. I think that if they want more community-driven events to happen in the game, they need to add social features. And if they're adding updates to the Galactic War, I think it is possible we may see social features, but I think it is beyond, we are well beyond the point where this should have already been in the game. A robust clan system and better global social features would go a long way to making the Galactic War feel much better. And remember, this summer, if this doesn't come this summer, Arrowhead, this will be a lie. This will be a lie from Arrowhead. So hold them to this, please. All of us, we need to hold them to this because this is a big deal. This will affect the core community aspect of the game, which is something that I think we all love about Helldivers 2. Will you ever have public beta testing? What is your beta testing process like now? Yes, expanding how we test updates with players is a priority for us. We're exploring having more closed and public beta testing with the goal of getting broader feedback, especially for balance changes before they go live. One of the challenges is finding the right balance between testing changes openly and not spoiling upcoming content or narrative elements tied to the Galactic War. Today, we run closed playtests that cover both new content and the balance changes, as well as wider internal studio playtests. Going forward, we're looking at ways to separate these out so we can test balance more openly where it makes sense. Overall, our goal is to expand the footprint of our testing programs and bring more of the community into that process over time. Again, good things to say to people, and I do understand the difficulty of having a beta test client for a game like Helldivers 2, where narrative is a global thing we all experience together and they don't want to leak too much, even though things get leaked, you know, quite often. I understand why they don't want to add to that pile. I don't think a beta test client would be necessary for this game if they were doing better at understanding the community's stance on balance and understanding everything else we need from the game. Like, especially just with stability and performance, those are things that shouldn't need to be handled by the community at all. It should be done by Arrowhead through and through, but I mean, if they have to have a beta test client for the game to be better, then I'm all for that, of course. Why did you put exosuits in the Exo Experts Warbond? Does this mean we won't get an exosuit for free ever again? The goal with the Exo Experts Warbond was to create something that felt thematically strong and exciting, with exosuits as a core part of that fantasy. That said, we've seen the feedback around how that landed, especially when it came to expectations around how players unlock major gameplay items like exosuits. More broadly, we want to strike the right balance between what is included in war bonds and what is available through gameplay, so that rewards feel both exciting and fair. And to be clear, yes, you will be getting other vehicles through gameplay in the future. This is an important thing to note. First off, they confirmed that we're getting more vehicles down the line. I think we all knew that we would eventually, but it is good to hear that in writing, right there from Arrowhead. It is good to know that we are not done getting vehicles. Frankly, I was never that upset over the inclusion of mechs in the war bond because we already have 2 mech suits, and these are just 2 variations of a mech suit that they added to the war bond. But I do think that in general, I hate how they're transitioning everything from being from the Galactic War to war bonds. War bonds should feel like fun little themed DLC packs, while the Galactic War should be giving us a good amount of content, a good stream of stratagems, enemies, blah 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 blah, should be done through the Galactic War. And it really sucks when you look back and we used to get like a big build up for new stratagems, like, you know, we would go do the FRV stuff to unlock the FRV for everybody, but now we don't really get that a lot. Stratagems are just kind of, you know, shit out in a war bond, and all of that fun community element is kind of taken away, which again, they addressed in here and said that they want to bring it back. But again, we have to hold them to that. We cannot let them not do that now that they have promised that. And finally, they say, when will we get new Reddit stratagems and ship modules? We've got teams actively working on both new Red stratagems, evolving ships, and player progression to level 150 and beyond. Our goal is to expand these areas in ways that add meaningful new options and support different playstyles, rather than just adding more for the sake of it. We'll be sharing more details as these get closer to release. And they close it off by saying, salute to all our divers, Arrowhead. I think this is the most important thing, for me at least, because when they say that they want to add meaningful new options and support different playstyles right after they talk about player progression and quote-unquote evolving ships, that is promising. That is promising. For me, I just went from like a flat line to like a little boop, boop. You know, I'm getting a little something back from this. But again, talk is cheap. Actions speak much louder than words, especially right now with Arrowhead. The unfortunate thing is, I really would have loved to see this come out and drop naturally. All of these things. I'd love to see them drop naturally from just the game evolving over time, but after that AMA, they've had to do damage control through this article here. And this article isn't perfect. They're not offering many solutions. They have offered no solutions yet, but they're at least telling us their general plans for the future, and these better come true. Again, this summer, we are expecting a Galactic War update, and I'm hoping it's going to be substantial. We need the ability for players to play the Galactic War as a clan, or a platoon if you will, and let them conduct their own little campaigns with friends to make those community moments really happen, like Malevelon Creek, like Seychelles Beach. Hopefully, they can live up to what they've promised here. I know that they definitely have other things they're going to work on, like enemies, sub-factions, biomes, war bonds, what have you, that they're not going to talk about here. So, Arrowhead, they are working on the game. Helldivers 2 isn't abandoned, but again, the competency is being questioned. They need to get back to work and show us that they haven't lost their way. The game needs to be less Warbond heavy and much more Galactic War heavy, which again, they've said they're going to do. And I hope that this next evolution of ship modules is satisfying and worthwhile. So yes, this was a total act of damage control where they had to reveal some things that they were working on just to placate us. Frankly, again, these are good things that they've said here. They're not perfect, but they're good. Once more though, to beat a dead horse, talk is cheap. We need to see this put into action. Again, I'm willing to give them until the end of the summer, but if the end of the summer comes and goes, this game might be in really, really, really big trouble. Yeah, hopefully we get there. But I want to know what you think about this new article from Arrowhead. What do you think they're going to add to the Galactic War? What sort of red stratagems do you want to see? What kind of progression do you want to see? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, I want to thank all of my Hell Troopers. Swickety, Archangel Shipyards, Dirty Nightmare, Findas16, ODST Exotic, John Droll, Tinfoil Freak, Melek Paragon 9231, Jack of Nothingness, Sire Milk, Thack Dub, Kermite Official, and SES Champion of Democracy. Thank you all for continuing to support my channel. It means a lot to me. I'm sorry if I sound kind of fucked up today. I'm getting sick, and I kind of, I figured, well, I may as well record before I go to bed and wake up even more sick, so hopefully I don't sound that bad. Don't forget to check out my second channel, Togen's Whack, that'll be linked in the description, and join our Discord server if you're looking for more people to play Helldivers with or just want to have a good time. And yeah, that's all I have for today. This is Grand Moff Togen of the SES. My cat's scratching at my door. Signing off.